It's the Masked Singer Group B playoffs, and taco mole, these contestants really brought their A game this week. The performances continue to blow the judges and the audience away, and I'm about to serve up some fresh clues, recap the performances, and hit you with our best guesses for episode 5 of season 3 of The Masked Singer. But before I do, go hit subscribe. You're not going to want to miss any of our coverage this season. Plus, if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. I might just feature you in our next video about Group B's masked contestants. Okay, let's get into it right now. This was the second round of performances from these masked singers, and soon we will know who from this bunch will be joining the turtle, the kangaroo, and the white tiger in the top 9. This week, the judges were visited by comedian Gabriel Iglesias, a man who is quite pro-versed in the art of unique voices.
I tell you what, man, I had me a good old time up here.
First up this episode was the banana, and we caught him slipping up when he forgot the first few lines of his song Achy Breaky Heart by Billy Ray Cyrus. The mouse went next with her rendition of This Will Be by Natalie Cole. And wow, that voice is unforgettable. The frog went next with a much different performance, singing Into Club by 50 Cent. This amphibian's got moves. Let's talk about the Taco's performance of Bossa Nova Baby by Elvis Presley. The judges were so thrown off. And in the last performance, but certainly not the least, the kitty sang her little heart out to Mercy by Brett Young. At the end of the night, it was a little bit shocking to find the audience and judges gave the least amount of votes to the mouse. But I mean, I knew who was squeaking under the mask the whole time, so let's get into it. In her clue package, we saw an image of praying hands in a golden frame and a rhino statue. She went on to say,
"You'd think I ought to take a break, but I still have more stories to tell. And why quit something that still feels exciting and new?"
Finishing off the package, we see a bowl of some kind of nuts, and after her performance, she said her favorite subject was math. After the audience and judges voted, the mouse was revealed to be, Dionne Warwick. Here's how I knew. So that rhino was definitely a reference to her several albums she's made with Rhino Records. Those nuts that we saw were Brazil nuts, and Brazil is where Warwick spent a lot of time living. She also speaks Portuguese and has said in interviews she wants to live there full-time when she settles down. And finally, the gold is absolutely a reference to her multiple certified gold albums and songs. She's Louise, guys. This one was too easy. Now let's get into the remaining 4 contestants. Let's peel back the Bananas clue package. It takes place in an office, and we see a sign on the wall that reads Bananagement Management. Then we see an alarm clock that reads 2:13 p.m., the date June 8th, and an alarm set for 9:15. The banana says, "I don't want to slip up, so when my team called me in for a meeting about my image, I was like, get her done." There's also some punny posters on the wall behind him, like Sons of Bananarchy, for example. Building off of last week's clue package, we see some more cowboy references with a shot of some boots. Then the banana says, "I may be high in carbs, I may have a few bruises, but I'm still here after all these years, so tonight I'm embracing my flaws, rocking out as my authentic self." And the most important realization of the night.
But I didn't know bananas were high in carbs.
No, they get starchy when they ripen up.
After the performance, the banana said their favorite subject in school was art.
"It has gotten me through some of the toughest times of my life, and I've had quite a few."
Ken is thinking Larry the Cable Guy after that get her done clue. Nicole is sticking with her guess from last week of Ed Helms, given the office vibes in this week's package, and Gabriel Iglesias is locking in at Billy Bob Thornton. On YouTube, our commenters Jody Moyer and Kim Eddy think it's Bret Michaels. And I'm totally with them, locking in my guess for the banana as Bret Michaels. On April 9th of 2015, Michaels announced his new solo album True Grit. In 2013, he released an album titled Jammin' with Friends. And he released a best of album called Rock My World in June of 2008. So that's what all those numbers were on that alarm clock. It makes sense the team was concerned about him cleaning up his act before going on the show. His insane rock star lifestyle did lead to some drug use and health issues. And those rough times he mentions, his dad just passed away in August of 2019, and he himself has struggled with cardiac issues in the past. The Get Her Done thing and Sons of Anarchy reference were totally just to throw us all off. Not working on me. Now let's hop over to the frog. In the package, he said he's leaving all the froggy sauce on the stage. The hell is froggy sauce? We also see a basketball on the desk, the letters C, S, and I on a typewriter, and a $19 price tag next to a picture of a Hollywood Walk of Fame star. He made 2 references to the word prince. He said he's always shooting to be seen as the prince of his game, and we see not every frog wants to be a prince typed out on some paper. The judges are guessing Omarion, Alfonso Ribeiro, and Kevin freaking Hart. And while YouTube commenter Spaced Out thinks the frog is Soulja Boy, we of course know the frog is none other than Shad Brad Moss, aka Bow Wow. Those CSI letters, totally a reference to his role on the show CSI Cyber. And we all remember the line, "Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court." God, I nailed that. And those Prince references have to be linked to his past nicknames as the Prince of Hip Hop. Hip Hop. Get it? You know, frog. On to the taco. This week he said, "You may think of me as a buttoned-up mild type, but I actually used to be a bit of a hothead, until I met the most stunning taco in the galaxy," as we see the Gemini constellation. We see some visuals like a whoopee cushion, some peppers, and a black wig on a platter? Finishing out the package, they said, "Tonight, honey, this one is for you." And after their performance, they said they were the class clown in school.
Once I was put in a closet in the classroom for bad behavior, but I loved it. It meant I didn't have to sit in class.
The judges are going with Alec Baldwin, Ted Danson, and Seth MacFarlane. Looking at our YouTube commenters, SuperAlien86 is thinking Tony Bennett, and Tina M is locking in her guess at Tim Allen. But here's the beef, guys. The taco is totally Tom Bergeron. Hear me out. The taco mentioned they have had issues with being a hothead in the past. In a Getting to Know Me interview with Us Magazine, Bergeron said he has struggled with managing his temper and even punched some holes in walls back in his 20s. In the same interview, he also said he can't dance at all unless tequila is involved. I'd say that's pretty accurate for the taco. That whoopee cushion and the hairpiece absolutely references to America's Funniest Home Videos, which the dude hosted. And get this, he and his wife were married on May 22nd of 1982, which is the sign of the Gemini. Chip chip, hooray! We've got this one in the bag. Lastly, meow over for the kitty. In her package, she said performing this way was a bit overwhelming and she's taking a second to regroup. She also said,
Sewing is one of my favorite things to do when I needle little time alone.
And an example of the things she sews, a modern dress for a family member's ball. We get some more magic vibes similar to last episode's package, and she finished by saying maybe there's something about watching transformations that rings a bell. After the performance, she said her favorite subject was English and that she used to write her own science fiction books and sell them for quarters. Judges are going with Sarah Hyland, Amanda Seyfried, and Millie Bobby Brown. Looking at our YouTube comments, Red Fox thinks the kitty is Sabrina Carpenter, Becca Fry is locking in her guess as Emma Watson. Last week was tricky, and I think I was on the right path with my Ariel Winter guess, but this week I'm switching my guess to Ariel's Modern Family co-star Sarah Hyland. First of all, how could you miss that Modern Family hint in this episode? What's more, body type matches, and that rose clue in last week's package is a connection to her fiance Wells Adams, who is a past Bachelorette contestant. The needle and sewing reference in this week's clue package could definitely be nods to her multiple kidney transplant surgeries. And if you look closely, there's a red cooler in the background of the package, and red coolers are commonly used to hold organs during transplant procedures. It's all coming together. Hyland is also a big bookworm and actually met Wells Adams because of a tweet she made about him referencing books. And finally, those transformation clues definitely match up with Hyland's recent life events. The show she's been on for 11 years, Modern Family, is coming to an end. She's in good health for the first time in a while, and she's getting married. So that's it for us. A little recap for you and all my guesses. Now head down to the comments and let me know what your guesses are. Who knows, I might just feature you in next week's episode. Until then, make sure you go hit subscribe and turn on your notifications. You're gonna wanna know when I finally talk about these costumes before they're revealed. And that's the best way to stay up to date with us here at Cinema Blend.